Welcome to the Library Show, brought to you by Cobb County Public Libraries. Today we have a fun show for you. My name is Donna. Roxanne and I will be discussing some hot books for summer reads. Beth and Shannon will be talking about some audiobooks for children, and Nicole will have a special interview with Cobb Works. So Roxanne,
Hi,
I
Donna.
see you have some accoutrements there for the beach.
Right, some hot summer reads. Well, to me, that means beach time. So I have my hat, my towel, and what everybody needs at the beach, a hot title book.
That looks like a hot summer read, just from the title. Tell me about it.
This is Susan Brockman, Do or Die. It's her new series, Reluctant Heroes. She always writes about Navy SEALs.
Manly men.
Manly men. This is a romantic suspense, so there's a lot of action. The beginning of the book, we meet Ian Duncan. He's a former SEAL. He's in prison, and his lawyer has come in with a representative from the U.S. government to get him out of jail, and he does not want to leave.
He doesn't want to leave?
He wants to stay in jail. There's some other plot going in. It's a lot of subplots in this book going on.
Okay. Well, is it romantic?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
from the cover?
Oh, yes, very romantic. Don't you see from his body?
When I read this, would I blush?
Yes, you would.
Okay. Would my mother be able to read this?
Probably not.
Okay, so it qualifies as a genuine hot summer read for our patrons. Okay, those of you who want a hot summer read, that's it.
Now, Donna has a different interpretation of hot summer reads.
Yes.
Her first book is We Are Completely Besides Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. Tell us about it.
It's a brand new book. It's We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves.
Sorry.
She is, the story is about a family and a psychologist in the 1970s. He's a research psychologist, when a lot of studies were being done with primates. So they brought a chimpanzee baby into the household when their daughter was a baby, and they raised them as sisters.
So they're raising a chimp in a human family.
Yes.
So
yes.
how does that go?
Well, that's one of the things you're going to find out from the book. The story is written as a memoir. One of the things that happened to me as I was reading it, as I kept forgetting that it was fiction and thinking it was memoir because it was so very detailed and powerfully written. The character is 22 years old. She's in college, and she's reminiscing about some of the things that happened back when she was a baby. And the chimp was taken away from the family when she was 5.
That must have made her sad.
It really affected her life tremendously. It affected the whole family's life because the chimp was a part of them.
Okay. Why do you recommend it for your book group?
Well, it's a brilliant book. I mean, it is absolutely brilliant. First of all, the creativity, the realism, as I said, I kept thinking that I was reading a real memoir. We also learn quite a bit about chimpanzees. We learn a lot about psychology and some of the experiments that were done. What we also see is that the characters are so realistic. I just kept wanting to read it. It's also a good summer read because it's kind of short. Okay. So it's very readable. It's not something that you have to really focus on. Other things can be going on around beside you.
Is your book group going to read it?
I believe we may have enough copies. I recommend it for a book group. There's a lot to talk about. They can talk about chimps. They can talk about the psychology, about the family dynamics, all of those things.
Has this author written another book that we might know about?
Yes, she has, which I have not read. She wrote the Jane Austen Book Club. And so when I first saw this book, I thought, okay, Jane Austen Book Club, this cannot possibly be a fun book. But it really, really is.
Okay. Now your second book, Blood Will Out, by William Kern?
Walter Kern.
Walter Kern.
This is a true story, and I first heard about this on NPR. Walter Kern is a novelist who became friends with someone named Clark Rockefeller. And the novelist lived out west. Rockefeller, of course, lived in New York. What we find is that Clark Rockefeller was not only an impersonator, he was also a murderer. And we see how Kern is taken in by this guy, how the con works so well. We get to see what Kern should have seen but didn't see, all of the little clues that tell you what was going on. And this book spans 15 years, and the last 5 years of which the impersonator is being tried for murder. His name, I have to look because it's really a tough name, is Christian Karl Gerhardtstreiter instead of Clark Rockefeller.
Is there another book about this fake Rockefeller?
Actually, there is, and I just found out about it whenever I got to the end of the book. Kern talks about The Man in the Rockefeller Suit by Mark Seal, and that was written a couple of years ago. But I highly recommend Walter Kern's book for a good summer read. It's very readable. It's something you can put down, you can pick up. The story is interesting. We also want to know how a person who is a murderer could get so close to us.
Is this a good book for your group? Will they be reading it?
It is. I can't remember if we already have enough copies. I think we may. It's a good book to discuss just because we'll discuss how easily we can be duped.
Okay.
And what all is involved in such a con.
Sounds very interesting. The last book is Worthy Brown's Daughter.
Worthy Brown's Daughter by Philip Margolin. He has written, he's a New York Times bestseller writing. And I normally don't talk about New York Times best-selling authors. He writes typically legal suspense, his courtroom dramas. But this one is historical fiction. It's based on a nugget of a true story at the bottom, at the middle of it.
Doesn't he say that's his most important book he's ever written?
He feels that it is the most important book he has ever written.
Why is that?
And that's because of the true story that is at the core of the book, which is about a slave owner in the 1860s who moves with the two people who were slaves to Oregon, which is a free state. And he manages to convince them that they should still be slaves for him, even though they're living in a free state.
How does he do that?
He does that through contracts, but part of it is what you want to read the book for. What Margolin does is show us what 1860s Oregon is like, what justice is like. There are several fascinating courtroom scenes. So we get to see what the law looked like in the 1860s in Oregon and how it eventually overcame the problems of people wanting to break the law.
Sounds like a good book. Is your book group going to read it?
Our book group has already read it, as a matter of fact, and they did enjoy it very much.
Well, that's all we have for today. If you need advice about what to read during this hot summer season, stop by any of the Cobb County libraries and we'll be happy to help you.
Shelters are the best places to find a new pet.
What a perfectly beautiful little lady.
That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals.
You little rascal.
Eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet.
Oh, ladies first.
Be that person. Adopt.
This is living. Hey, kid.
To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hello and welcome back to the Library Show. I'm Nicole with Ackworth Library, and today we wanted to highlight one of our important community partners, Cobb Works. And today, to help us explain the services of Cobb Works and what they do in the community, we have John Helton, who is the CEO of Cobb Works. Thank you and welcome to the Library Show.
Thanks for having us.
And we also have Jim Montgomery, who operates the Mobile Career Center for Cobb Works.
Yes.
And you'll explain to us what that is and the services involved in that.
Sure, yeah.
But let's start with you, John.
Sure.
Tell us about Cobb Works. What is Cobb Works' mission and what is your role with the organization?
Okay, well, as you said, I'm the CEO, president and CEO of the organization, which means that I have the privilege of leading a really great group of dynamic people that are really committed to helping people find jobs and helping businesses find workers. And so the really fancy way to say what we do is we're the workforce development agency. But really what we're all about is when someone needs a resource to help them find a job or get a skill set improvement to be marketable in the current job market, we're there to help them with that. And when businesses move into Cobb or looking at Cobb, we are part of the team that goes out and convinces them that Cobb's really a good place for them to choose.
Wow. So if someone is interested in taking advantage of your services, what would you recommend them to do? Do you have an office here?
We do. We actually have a workforce development center that we operate over off of Commerce Park Drive. It's in the primary transfer station for CTT, right there near the intersection of South Merida Parkway and Fairground Streets.
Yeah.
So people are always welcome to come drop in and see us then. I would recommend if they have internet access to check out our website beforehand, cobbworks.org, and that can give them a better sense of what it is that they can expect. And if they are looking for specific services from us, there's usually some directions there to help them along and speed that process up too.
Wow. So if I was looking for a job and I was interested in getting some interview skills, maybe I need some help with my resume, I could go to Cobb Works to get that kind of assistance?
You absolutely could. So that's something that that's what we're there doing on a daily basis, and what actually Jim's the star of the show when he does it on the Mobile Career Center too. Takes the show on the road. But we have staff that are specially trained as certified resume writers and also as job search assistant coaches, and we can get you going in the right direction, definitely. And different people are at different levels, and that's just one thing that we do, but that's a very important thing that we do.
That's very important to our patrons and really the Cobb community. So, Jim, as John said, you operate the Mobile Career Center.
Right.
Tell us what that is.
Well, the Mobile Career Center is a 38-foot motorhome, and we have 13 computer stations, a printer. We have internet access via satellite. We have a smart board that we'll use for workshops or presentations, as well as 2 televisions, one on the inside and then one on the outside, where we can display DVDs or informational programs when we're at like a job fair.
Yes. Now, let me ask you this. So, if I'm a patron and I need to put together a resume and I'm very low on my skills, so I need a lot of time, would I be limited in time for the career?
Not on the Mobile Career Center.
Okay.
You know, we'll have people come in, sometimes stay for 2 or 3 hours working on a resume or doing job search. We have a resume builder software program that they can sit down, plug their information into, and of course, I'm there to assist them with the process.
Wow, that's incredible. So they could actually come to the mobile center and actually be able to put together a resume and email it there, right there?
Yep, sure can. Yeah, we help them know how to upload their resume. Oftentimes, you know, there'll be somebody will want it sent to them or attached to an application, and we help them with all of the technical aspects to getting their information out there for the job search.
Wow, that is incredible. So I want to go back to John, and I also want to ask you, Jim.
Okay.
What do y'all get out of what you do? This is an important part of the community. There's so many patrons who need work or they need skills to get a better promotion, that sort of thing. What do you get out of what you do?
That's a great question. Earlier I said the word privileged, and it's really a privilege to be able to do this type of work. And I think, you'll put me on my soapbox here, but you know, we all don't start out in life at the same place, and people start lower or higher, and then life happens and things happen, and people get laid off and lose jobs, or the company moves, or whatever may happen. So it's really a very rewarding and worthwhile thing to be able to help people, especially when they're in situations where they really need it.
Yes.
And a lot of our customers are really stressed out and don't know how the mortgage is going to get paid or whatnot, and to be able to be a resource to help them do something tangible, but also to be there. And our staff is very good at being good coaches and cheerleaders, and Jim's a good, he'll get you going, definitely. So.
Yeah,
that's great.
One of the best parts of the job is being able to help somebody, and a big part of it is people coming in, they're struggling, they worked at a job for 30 years, whatever the case may be, and they want somebody to talk to. and a big part of it is being able to sit and talk with them, give them advice, try to help them, try to encourage them, and it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Very fulfilling.
If someone is interested in using the services in the Mobile Career Center, how would they know where you are and what time, or what library you're at?
Well, they can go to our website, cobbworks.org, and they'll find a complete schedule of my weekly schedule there at our website.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say that if you are interested in learning more about Cobb Works, we do have a link to the Cobb Works website on cobbcat.org. You just go to our web page at www.cobbcat.org, and then you click on e-government resources first, and then click on employment, and then you will see a link to Cobb Works. Is there a phone number that you prefer?
770-528-4300 is our main line, and you'll hear a charming voice to try and direct you where you need to go.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, John and Jim, for
Thank you.
joining
Very much.
us
Glad to
and
be
letting
here.
us know about Cobb Works. More to come with the Library Show.
Hey Beth, what are you doing?
I'm trying to create a formula for our Fizz Boom Read summer reading program, but it's really hard.
You know you can visit the library for summer reading, right? The librarians make it super easy to sign up.
Really?
Yeah. You go to the library and they give you your reading log, and all summer as you read, you just write down the titles of the books.
Whoa, that is easy. And then what?
At the end of July, bring your log back to your librarian. They give you a certificate, a free book, and you get to go to the summer party in August.
Cool. But how will I ever remember all that?
Hey, Dewey!
What? Oh, that's right. I can go to our website for more information. I can even sign up online.
You're right. Should we go sign up for the summer reading program?
Let's.
For more information about our summer reading program, visit the website at www.cobbcat.org/SRP.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first element, helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back to the Library Show. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Beth. Did you know that the library offers way more than just books? Not only that, did you know that the library has lots of ways you can read books, like books on CD, books on Playaway, e-books and e-audiobooks that you can download, and even books on DVD. Whether you're at home or on the road this summer, we have some great suggestions for you. This first book is called The Emerald Atlas, and it's by John Stevens, and the audiobook is narrated by Jim Dale, who also narrated the Harry Potter audios. I downloaded the audiobook to my phone via the library's Overdrive site. The story, about 3 children who find an enchanted atlas that takes them to another land full of secrets and adventures, is excellent on its own, and listening to Jim Dale's narration really brought the story and the characters to life. The Emerald Atlas was actually a Georgia Book Award nominee last year, which means it was a Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl book. In fact, not only does the library have all of this year's nominees too, but many of the titles are available on CD too, and some are even on Overdrive. I will warn you though, some of these titles have waiting lists, so you might need to plan ahead.
I brought some books on CD with me today. Books on CD are excellent for summer road trips or anytime. I just like listening to books in my car. And with so many titles to choose from, you're sure to find a book that the whole family will enjoy. I brought one of my favorite books, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, also narrated by Jim Dale. Can you tell we just love Jim Dale? He's excellent. I'm always recommending Peter Pan to readers of all ages who are looking for a good story, whether they want to read it or listen to it. I'll warn you though, this audiobook's over 5 hours long. If that's a bit too long for you, we have shorter options as well, like Skippy John Jones by Judy Schachner. This audio is under 30 minutes long and would be perfect for a day when you're out running errands.
I also brought some self-playing audiobooks or playaways. The book is already loaded onto the player, so the only equipment you need is a AAA battery and a set of headphones. or you can just plug it into your speakers or a car adapter too. Then just press the power button and push play. And don't worry, there are instructions inside. This one is called The Case of the Missing Marquess, and it's by Nancy Springer. Enola Holmes is the much, much younger sister of Sherlock Holmes. And when her mother disappears on Enola's 14th birthday, Enola unravels a series of clues before setting off for London, disguised as a widow, to find her missing mother. Along the way, she not only finds a second mystery, but also has to make sure her brothers can't find her. The library also has playaways for younger children too, like, for example, The Complete Tales of Beatrix Potter, which has the Peter Rabbit stories on it. And this one, the Rabbit Ears Treasury of Tall Tales, has 4 different American tall tales, and each is read by a different actor. Haven't you always wanted to listen to Nicolas Cage reading Davy Crockett? Well, now you can.
And don't forget about audio kits. Audio kits include a cassette tape or a CD along with the book, so you can follow along in the book while it's narrated to you. I brought 2 with me today. This is a storybook called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves by Julie Rawlinson, and a nonfiction book, Reaching for the Moon by Buzz Aldrin. It's also narrated by Buzz Aldrin, which I thought was pretty neat. Kits are excellent in the car, so you can read the book while you listen to it, or if you're like me and you can't read in the car without feeling a little sick, you can save the book part for later. Or you can just listen and read along at home. Kits are also great for struggling and reluctant readers. Struggling readers might benefit from having the book with the text in front of them while it's narrated to them to help them build and enforce their reading skills. And reluctant readers might like the entertainment factor. I'm sure we have an audio kit out there for even the pickiest of readers.
I used to have a bunch of those, only some of mine even had records in them. I'd also say that they're great for like ESL, like people who are learning English as a second language, because they can really hear how the words are supposed to be pronounced.
Perfect.
Yeah, but finally, I also brought some picture books on DVD. And that's right, books you can watch. The movies follow the books exactly, so you can even read along. Most of the stories are less than 10 minutes long, and some of these stories are the same ones that you might watch at a library story time. This one is called Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel and 3 More Stories About Trucks. Actually, it has 5 different stories, including Trashy Town, which is a personal favorite, along with Dot the Fire Dog, The Remarkable Riderless Runaway Tricycle, and more. And then this one, The Wheels on the Bus and More Sing-Along Favorites, has a super fun version of The Wheels on the Bus that is performed by the Bacon Brothers, as in Kevin Bacon, and more songs. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3 and More Stories About Counting will have you singing and counting up to 100 and beyond. And then there's a couple more great collections of picture books on DVD. One that I have here is called Little Pea, Little Hoot, and Little Oink by Amy Krauss Rosenthal, whose books I actually adore and who actually narrates the DVD. And then this one is called 2 Alphabet Stories, which includes the books B is for Bulldozer, A Construction ABC, and Shiver Me Letters, A Pirate ABC. And both of those books are by June Sobel. These don't take the place of regular books, but they're excellent too. And then this is just a tiny sampling of what the library has. So we hope you'll visit your local library or our website at www.cobbcat.org for even more great books in all sorts of formats, whether audio, downloadable, or traditional paper. And stay tuned for more of The Library Show. Oh, hey, Shannon. What are you doing?
Hey, I'm trying to create the perfect formula for our Spark the Reaction Young Adult Summer Reading Program, but it's really hard.
You know you can just go to your library, right? The
Really?
library? Yeah, the librarians make it super easy to sign up.
Well, what do I do?
Well, when you go to your library, you can pick up book review forms, and you can write short book reviews of the books that you read.
Okay, and what about when I'm done?
Well, by the end of the summer, you should bring them back to your library, or you can even submit them online. And then you'll get entered into a drawing for cool prizes, and you'll be invited to our really cool summer reading party in August.
Well, that sounds great, but how am I going to remember all of this?
Dewey!
Dewey, you're right. I can just visit the website and get all my information there.
Yeah, thanks, Dewey.
Thanks, Dewey.
Should we go sign up for summer reading?
Let's do it. For more information on the summer reading program, visit our website at www.cobbcat.org/SRP.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until the secret that laughter makes you smile. My sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this.
getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching the Library Show, and remember to check out our website at www.cobbcat.org. We'll see you next time.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Turn here. There. Excuse me.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that. Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.